hibiscus done at Hidden Lake Gardens. Nice, interesting.
That's at, the peony garden over at U of M.
Okay.
That is really cool.
What type of insect is that?
A fly, isn't it?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
type
It's
of?
some type of fly.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Is
good.
it big red?
Nice.
Okay, I wanna know, was that flying bird actually there at that time?
Yes.
Wow, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then that one too.
Yeah, they're usually just hovering there, like
Yeah.
in the wind there.
Oh, the waves.
I like the composition with one gull, low into the left and the other in the upper right. It, kind of fills the space, frames the lighthouse very nicely.
Really nice. Was that on like continuous shutter or you just kinda snap it?
No, I just handheld them. I think that one was handheld mostly, right? 'Cause that's all I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the mist and everything.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, me being picky, I would crop in tight to the truck on both sides, cause you got a lot of background clutter there that, is a little distracting.
Is that at Marshall Motor?
No, it's at our campground.
Oh.
I was gonna say, it looked like a campground scene.
Yeah, I might have even just shot close up on that front end.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility too. Especially, one possible shot, yeah, of course I come up with this idea now that you can't photograph the truck. But just imagine zooming in on just the one headlight with that fancy paint scheme
Yeah,
Oh.
behind it. That's one of those things where, you get a subject like that, you just walk around, shoot all the details. Cause, what are the odds of seeing an interesting subject like that again, but still.
Were they having a car show or?
They did for Father's Day. It was packed and it was really hot and it was just an opportunity to quick get it with no one else there.
Gotcha, yeah.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I like the flag in there.
Fourth of July.
I like the flag in it.
Hello, people with that.
There's one the deer didn't get.
That's hard with those.
Perfect.
Nice.
Coming or going?
That is so cute.
Deep, pretty.
I'd be tempted to crop a horizontal for the bottom 2/3 of the picture, cause you got a really bright area up there in the upper right-hand corner, which I think draws your eye away from the subject matter, which is, the flowers down in the bottom.
I thought about that when I cropped that one. That's just the way I left it.
Oh,
Yeah.
It shows depth, I guess. Pretty flowers
Yeah.
from different varieties. Like carpet of blossoms.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
You get 4 guesses to figure out who took that photo, and the first 3.5 don't count.
The queen of the still life.
And, yeah, what else? The only thing I might have wanted to see, just to see if it would look, how it would look. I'm not saying this would make it any better. By the way, good choice on color of the plants. That's very awesome. The only thing I might have wanted to see, just as a what if, is, maybe light the candle, but other than that,
Oh,
you know, and that's, I'm not saying it will make it better, I'm just saying, what if?
Yeah, I think you're right, usually if a candle is part of something you want it lit, it didn't occur to me. Actually, when I set up something like this, it looks very simple, but it may aggravate me and take 3 or 4 days for me to get back to it.
Understood, understood, and you know, and I'm gonna admit, I am a little bit skeptical that lighting the candle would improve the picture, because you'd have the reflection of the candle flame on all that glassware, which would, you know, if it took you that long to set it up, you know, you add that flame in there, it could get really tricky really quick, getting the lighting right.
Are those seedlings getting rooted? Some kind of plants getting rooted?
Fake.
Hey!
But, it's a gorgeous photograph, either way, it is gorgeous, well done.
And you don't have to water it.
Yeah.
This was, I won't take much more of your time, but this was part of a challenge for the photo club that I was in Florida. You had to do it without any post-camera manipulation.
Wow, so
But I did a few things after this, but it was pretty much.
in camera,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is, what you see is what you get, right?
Well, it's close, because, you know, it's not for them anymore, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
still, well done, excellent work.
So is the glass red or is it red liquid in the glass?
Glass is red.
Nice.
Thrift stores are wonderful.
Uh-huh, you can find all sorts of stuff there, yeah.
Definitely use your
Well, we
expertise
gotta do
next
without
month
Joanne
too,
forever.
you can help us figure out things,
Maybe.
you come across it before.
Mm-hmm.
Lighthouse.
The lone buoy.
Is that Michigan, Superior?
Lake
No,
Michigan, I
It's Lake
think.
Michigan.
Muskegon.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Is that Bill out there on the pier?
No, it's not his.
It is.
I didn't even see that person.
Oh.
I like it.
Very, very nice,
The recent-
very nice. Definitely gets your
What's the
attention.
story behind that, is that an elevator?
What's
It's an emergency on campus,
Oh,
emergency help.
Gotcha.
I think we could all use those. We should have more of those in life.
True.
Yeah, like every traffic light.
Yeah.
got some nice framing.
Yeah, is it me or is the deer out of focus?
It's a little soft. you
Oh,
know.
dear.
The rear end's in focus. No, from about the front shoulders back is in focus, but the head is a little soft, it looks.
Maybe it was moving.
That's possible.
I don't think so for long. I like the colors.
Who are you?
Oh, amazing catch light.
That's
Like
a,
it's really
that's a
soft.
bird that came to me and it couldn't fly.
Oh,
And
okay.
I wound up keeping it over the course of a winter. Mended it, I used a nylon stocking to kind of hold its wings to heal. And then I let it go in the very early spring. And then 100 feet away from where I let it go right here, raised the nest.
Oh,
Had little ones,
neat.
yep.
Cool story.
Well, that's good action.
That was from the Kensington field trip, if I remember correctly, yeah. It was like just as we're getting ready to leave at the end of the day, 2 Canada geese decided to have a little territorial squabble. My leg, no, it's mine. Oh yeah, watch me chase you out of here.
A nice capture.
Thank you.
They look plump.
Well, you know, feeding on golf course grass, what do you expect? Plus all this food that people leave laying around in the park, yeah. Ooh, nice.
Is that Rocking Hills?
Oh, how,
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Just outside of it.
was the water really low, or is it usually just trickle like
It's
that?
just not a lot of water
Mm,
usually running.
really cool.
Excellent exposure on that.
I think that was a, 3 shots combined.
Oh. Where was this one?
Would that be considered like layered, with them stacked like that? Is that the way you call a layered?
Yeah,
HDR is, it's called, you do one that's underexposed and overexposed and,
Bracket.
you just combine them and software does it.
On the yellow, remember the Yellowstone film?
Yeah.
Is that Yellowstone?
I can't believe how big that
Should do my bear.
peekaboo.
Oh, nice and crisp.
Mm-hmm. Good exposure.
Good crop too.
Some grass right. There's a, well, tomorrow night's club, I've got one of the family, the mom, the dad, and 2 babies. Just one.
So like packing it back.
There's watching them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, is this a nature shot?
Man's nature.
Okay.
Urban jungle. Not like a construction site?
No, it's just an alley. Where people walk through.
Oh my goodness.
And leave stuff behind, obviously.
I like how you composed it.
Ooh, nice.
Caught that one just right.
And notice the bird flying in from the right.
Yeah, I didn't even see that till after.
Where's that at? No.
Where was
That your
that, Linda?
yard? Oh, I'm sorry, pardon?
Where was that?
My backyard.
Oh, jeez.
Out the kitchen window.
Out the kitchen, yeah, this is, well,
Wow.
geez. Yeah, that is awesome.
So you got all that grass to mow?
Well, my hubby did, but he's, we got Colin now, and he does a great job.
There you go. I love
Really
the
nice
weather
capture.
pattern. That is, oof.
Every once in a while, I mean, we haven't been out much, I haven't been shooting, but every once in a while, I see something through that window, and I grab the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's gorgeous.
Or the phone, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
One lovely little cloud.
Oh, what is that?
Is that a hippo that was smoking?
Big clouds looking like it's a whole cloud.
The photographer was smoking.
I love clouds, I love making pictures of them. I was in the cloud phase for a while.
Oh,
Nice.
Really nice.
I would be tempted to darken down that bottom left-hand corner and that little bit of like white on the right-hand edge, or maybe just crop those out. Cause they're bright enough to be just a little bit distracting from the flower. but nice. I love the composition, that's gorgeous.
That is a native columbine. Actually, I shot that down in Shenandoah a few years ago. So, but Michigan's got some by my barn, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's a nice color.
Yep.
Especially like- It'd be hard to take picture because there's so much to them.
Mm-hmm.
Is that taken around here?
No,
I didn't
Okay.
think that-
Has anybody seen butterflies or caterpillars around?
Yeah, I got a lot of butterflies out in my place.
Butterflies.
oh, the cabbage moth. That's really nice.
Actually, I've got a pretty healthy crop.
So
Millwood
where
growing
was
right
this
now.
at? What country? What
No.
area?
I think it was in the butterfly garden in Florida.
Oh, huh.
I think that's where I did that one.
And I think, I'm not a butterfly expert, but I think that might be a species that's native to the southeastern US. I can't swear to it. But I think I've seen a butterfly like that in a butterfly guide somewhere.
I haven't seen any in Michigan.
Yeah, except in, the greenhouse at Meyer Gardens, maybe.
It's neat that the flower you can see a little bit, but it's not like competing
Yeah.
with the butterfly. That took some effort. Oh, today, at the last minute. But I didn't notice it then.
Mhm.
Snake.
Fitting
What is
bracelet
it?
there.
Or the python?
Oh, just a random lady in the
Oh,
park with
yeah.
a snake?
Yeah, it's just a girl out there, and she had, I was just walking by, and she had this
Huh.
snake out there, and
Did you ask if you could pet her snake?
I got my own snake.
That's a scary thought.
I don't know, that would be an interesting conversation, I don't wanna get in trouble with approaching girls in the park talking about.
Well, she brought a conversation piece there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loved that snake, she got it, and she's had it for 4 years. And it was very active, it was really moving around a lot.
They're beautiful, but I don't want being near them.
Especially when they're hungry.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Is
taken
that
from,
Jackson?
Windsor across the river
No.
into
Oh.
Detroit.
Cool.
This is looking across the river.
Mm-hmm.
That must be copper.
Long telephoto lens, right?
Yes, I used my 150-600 on that.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Could you back that up real quick? One thing, well, two minor things if I may. Looks like you might have some dust spots on your sensor. If you look at the gray, there are 4 gray dots in the sky left of the church steeple.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, there's one, there's another, yeah, there's another
Oh,
one.
Was it raining?
You got a few sprinkles, but I don't know if I took it then or not.
It's overcast.
It was, got a little overcast,
Okay.
and the sun came out again.
I thought it was like UFO.
The aliens are invading.
That's what I
The camera's supposed to have a cleaning.
I will be honest with you, the camera the sensor cleaning modes
Yeah.
on digital cameras, they work most of the time, but not necessarily all of the time. Sometimes you have to go in and manually clean the sensor. It's something I end up doing about once a month for customers.
Mine helped with the little white pixels, maybe? Does that help eliminate those? pearl.
No, what you're talking about there is noise, which is a different animal altogether. Dust is gonna look like those gray spots you see there in the, in the sky. That's classic dust spot. At least to me, that's what it looks like.
Could be maybe that.
Yeah, well, it's either the lens or the sensor, one or the other.
Yeah. What you may wanna do is, next time we get a bright sunny, clear sunny sky, just point your camera at clear blue sky, take a photograph of it and see if anything shows up.
If it does, just take your camera over and go in.
That's beautiful, I love that picture.
Yeah, nice shot of the water lily.
Good reflection.
They're all
Very
over
sharp.
Lakeside Drive on Grass Lake, they're everywhere, there's hundreds of them. But I didn't realize they shut up at night and they don't open until mid-morning, so it took me 3 attempts to find them open.
Are mostly domestic. It's the yellow ones that are the natives that just invade everything.
So they have quite a few yellow ones
Do
too.
they have?
But I took a couple of pictures, but as I went to edit them, I realized that some of the animals had actually eaten a lot of the yellow away.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that I heard something different regarding the water lilies. And this goes back to John James Audubon. He got into a heap of trouble because in his painting of the trumpeter swan, which he took, he painted back in like 1806, 1807, he painted trumpeter swan with yellow water lilies, and everybody jumped all over him. He's like, no, they're all white. And he's like, I'm sorry, I was out there, and where they were, they're yellow. So I think there's like an eastern water lily and a western water lily, and the western ones are yellow and the eastern ones are white.
There's an abundance of the white, but there are quite a few yellow ones out there too.
Okay.
When you speak of the yellow ones, are they the same shape as this, or are they like?
No, they're
They're
more of a
different
bowl, and then they've got a really cool star in the middle.
But
I
they're
think
like,
I
they're
have one on
small
my
like this,
phone.
right?
Yeah, they don't
We have
really
a pond
open up.
full.
That's what we
Oh.
have, yeah.
I have one on my phone, hang on a second, and I'll find it.
Either way, very nice photo.
Very nicely balanced.
Right there.
Oh, that is interesting, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Now, who can tell me what Photoshop work I did? I did some cloning in 3 spots on that.
Maybe the upper right, or left, I mean?
Nope,
No.
no. I guess I'm a little bit better at it than I thought I was.
Doesn't look like you did.
Because, well, first of all, the bud there that's behind the flower, I cloned in the petal there because originally it was kind of in front. I'm like, nah, I want it behind.
Oh,
And if you look down along the branch there at the bottom, you see a little bit of a really light green. There was like part of a water drop that was hanging there and it looked weird. You go to your left, right there, yep. And then the other spot, if you look right above the flower to the right, at the top right, there's a little bit of a darkish patch. There was something weird there. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting rid of that. I will tell you, granted you have to do everything handheld, but you go into the Tropic Dome at Hidden Lake Gardens and, like in March, the orchids are just, wow. They must have had like 15 different varieties of orchids. Well worth it. And I guess now that I've been thinking about it, being picky on myself, I should have gotten rid of that little bit of light area up there at the top.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that. but you're wrong.
You were going to see if I noticed my own mistake, weren't you?
I think I see some dust on them.
Very nice.
Ooh, interesting.
It's the old Eloise State Hospital.
How long were you there?
Jeez, that's-
We just let them out for
Are
the
you
day.
sure? Yeah.
Do they do tours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they still doing that?
Yes. This building here actually may not be there anymore. It was slated, they were only gonna have like two, we did this a month or so ago.
Yeah.
And I think they said they were only gonna have 2 more tours through the boiler plant there, the power plant,
Mhm.
before it was
Take it
being
down.
torn down.
That would be.
Was that handheld or?
Yeah.
I commend your
Windows.
technique because, you know, you managed to get the verticals, I mean, you held the camera level, the verticals are good.
It's me leaning up against something. all of
Hey,
this.
that's still technique, it counts.
Was
Whatever
that the 3
works.
exposures as well?
No.
No, actually, I used the software version of
Yep,
doing the high-low and,
yeah,
Oh, okay.
you'd almost
Yeah,
have to for a shot like
The
that.
outside
Yeah.
is pretty good
Yeah,
of the windows.
that is a really cool photo.
That would be a cool photo walk.
Mm,
I love the road.
yeah. And notice the trail of hoof prints that lead you back to the barn so you can tell where the horse came from. And the snow on the horse. Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Where was that?
I have no idea. Out the window somewhere?
oh, it was, somewhere in the, like, Sherman Valley area,
Oh.
Gotcha, okay,
tooling down some back roads, she saw it.
nice.
Good lighting for that too.
Yep,
That's a nice old barn, you don't see
Yeah, it
those
is.
like
You
that
don't.
too much anymore.
No.
Mhm. Hard to find one.
Getting fewer and fewer all the time.
Mhm.
That expression, what you looking at, Willis? What do you think of my picture?
A lot of crop on that one.
Yep, very nice.
Picked
Yeah,
up
that's
everything,
story for
including
that
the hair on his chinny chin chin.
So who took that?
I did,
Nice.
Nice.
obviously at the zoo.
Was it in Florida?
No.
What, you didn't go on safari to Kenya to get that?
No,
I'm disappointed.
unfortunately
No,
not.
just kidding.
But aren't those whiskers weird?
Yes.
Was that a real animal?
Having a bad hair
Yes.
day.
No, what is, that's the one in Lansing, I think, the zoo in Lansing.
Potter Park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like he's getting ready to stick his tongue out at you.
Not a happy.
I was gonna say, obviously not a happy fella, cause he's frowning.
Yep. Like I said, he's saying, what you looking at? Go away.
Hello.
Interesting.
That was the Lantern Festival at the John Ball Zoo.
Okay.
And I used the iPhone to get the motion blur for the wing.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what I was looking at there. I'm like, huh? Nice.
I like what we have behind it. Is it something you inserted?
Believe it or not, Photoshop Elements program that I've been using, I edited the picture and I wasn't real happy with it or anything because that was shot at Relay for Life. There's a bunch of junk all around and everything else. But it automatically showed me a couple things that the program could do, and that was one of them where it kinda got rid of a lot.
Uh-huh.
That's nice.
So that's pretty cool.
That
Yeah.
is.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And that's a happy taste.
Yes, it is.
Okay.